Turns out your quote-unquote made in Italy luxury handbag might have more ties to Chinese factories than to Tuscany. Thanks to viral TikToks from Chinese factory workers, the internet is now in a frenzy over claims that some of the most iconic designer bags are actually born in the East, just wearing a Western disguise.
Your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory. They just add the logo in Europe to make you pay the price of 10 times. Close your eyes. If your Hermes says made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
What if I told you the $20,000 Hermes bag everyone's dying to own might not be worth the hype? Chinese factories are spilling secrets, TikTok is exposing the truth, and Hermes stores in China are suddenly empty. From shady sales tricks to luxury knockoffs that look too real, this isn't just a brand problem. It's a luxury empire crumbling. Buckle up, because the truth is shocking. Once upon a time, Hermes was the crown jewel of luxury in China. Its stores sparkled like temples of exclusivity, visited by the elite and admired by the masses.
If we talking crop. And I got my day ones with me.
The legendary Birkin and Kelly bags were more than fashion items. They were status symbols, power statements, and lifelong goals. But today, the picture isn't so glamorous. The foot traffic once flooding Hermes boutiques across China has slowed. The sparkle has dimmed. And behind the glass doors, consumer discontent is bubbling over. At the center of the storm is a controversial practice known as peihuo, a term that now triggers fury among Chinese luxury shoppers. It translates loosely to accompanied purchase, but for many, it means coercion. To even have a chance to buy a coveted Hermes handbag, customers are often told they must first purchase a range of other products, including scarves, shoes, perfumes, and even homeware. Things they never wanted, things they don't need, all to earn the right to maybe, just maybe, be offered a Birkin.
This is pretty much where I keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house was on fire, I would take this one out of all of them.
For many, this felt like extortion wrapped in silk, and they've had enough. In recent months, scenes of protest outside Hermes stores in Chinese cities have gone viral. Angry customers, once loyal buyers, now stand outside with handmade signs. Rubbish Hermes, peihuo, but no bag. The rage is absolute. What was once seen as an exclusive shopping experience has become a manipulative ordeal. The air of mystery and elegance has been replaced by frustration and betrayal. But that's not where the troubles end. It only gets worse.
He started making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the UGG boot that most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing UGG boots, and they were always the cool surfer kid.
In June 2023, Hermes faced an embarrassing blow when Beijing's market authorities fined the brand over $43,000 for selling substandard men's clothing. Yes, substandard. Not a word you'd expect to hear associated with a brand whose bags can cost more than a car. And this wasn't even the first time. Back in 2022, Hermes was fined again, this time for selling poorly made women's pants. Let that sink in. A brand built on the promise of unmatched craftsmanship is now making headlines for quality control issues. It's like discovering your favorite 5-star restaurant served expired ingredients. The damage is not just financial, it's reputational. Luxury thrives on trust, and once that's broken, the fall can be steep. But the hits kept coming. China is also ground zero for one of luxury fashion's oldest foes, counterfeiting. And Hermes, unfortunately, has become a high-profile victim. Chinese authorities have launched multiple crackdowns, seizing thousands of fake Hermès products in recent years. And these aren't your usual bad fakes. These are high-quality replicas, so convincing they could fool even seasoned collectors. They look, feel, and even smell like the real deal. This flood of counterfeits has seriously damaged Hermès' aura of exclusivity. If a bag that looks exactly like yours is being sold for 1/10 the price on a street corner, or worse, online, what's the point of spending $15,000? Why put yourself through the Peihuo circus when you can just avoid it? And then came TikTok. The rise of Chinese short video platforms brought a new wave of viral content that Hermès likely wished would disappear. Videos began circulating showing Chinese manufacturers openly claiming to produce goods nearly identical to Hermès bags. Minus the logo, of course.
Touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather. Touches on a Kelly.
That image might be faker than a $3 bill.
Touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. There are no manuals or cheat sheets. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
These clips showed clean, organized factories with skilled workers assembling what they proudly called luxury quality handbags. Some even went so far as to say they produced goods for major Western luxury houses. Were they bluffing? Possibly. But the impact was instant. Viewers were stunned and intrigued. If these manufacturers could create a Hermès-like bag for a fraction of the price, what exactly were consumers paying for in the official store? The brand? The experience? The Peihuo stress? Suddenly, luxury wasn't about exclusivity. It was about value. And Chinese consumers, once eager to spend without question, are now asking hard ones. Why pay more? Why be manipulated? Why support a brand that doesn't seem to value your loyalty?
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Nuti from Italy. The second is Weinheim from Germany, and the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? And next, the thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel.
In an attempt to course correct, Hermes has tried to win back hearts. The brand launched a subsidiary, Shangxia, designed to blend Chinese craftsmanship with luxury design. The goal was clear: connect with local culture and shift the narrative. It was also a smart move, at least on paper. Luxury brands that respect and reflect local heritage tend to do well in China. But consumers weren't fully convinced. After all, when trust is broken, shiny new ventures don't mean much. And that brings us to the real heart of the matter. Hermès unraveling in China isn't just about Peihuo, poor quality pants, or even TikTok factories. It's about trust, it's about respect, and it's about a brand forgetting that today's luxury consumers are not the same as those of yesterday. This new generation is informed, outspoken, and values-driven. They care about authenticity, fairness, and transparency. They expect more than just pretty packaging. They want to feel seen, heard, and appreciated, not strung along in an exhausting game just to be allowed to buy a handbag. Hermès failed to adapt, and now it's paying the price. Let's be clear, China is not just another market. It's one of the biggest luxury markets in the world, and arguably the most influential. When Chinese consumers speak, the entire luxury industry listens. And right now, they're shouting.
It was my first time shopping at Hermes, and let me tell you how it went.
We got a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park.
Italy, made in China. Or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. Because some brands get real creative when it comes to made in China.
They're shouting against forced purchases. They're shouting against low-quality products disguised as luxury. They're shouting against fake exclusivity built on manipulation. And luxury brands everywhere should take note. Because Hermès is not the first. And it won't be the last. This isn't just a PR crisis. It's a wake-up call. In the past, brands could get away with elitist strategies and opaque practices. But in the digital age, nothing stays hidden. Consumers are armed with smartphones, social media, and global connections. One bad experience becomes a trending topic. One unfair policy becomes a national protest. What happened to Hermès is a warning. Adapt or die. If luxury brands want to thrive in the modern era, they must do better. That means earning loyalty, not demanding it. That means delivering on quality every single time. That means stopping the games, the manipulation, the forced upsells, and instead building relationships based on honesty and mutual respect. This video discusses Hermès' legal actions against Chinese factories that allegedly disclosed secrets about the brand's manufacturing processes, resulting in a significant price drop.
Products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from...
The reality is, Hermès still has a chance to recover. The brand continues to hold global prestige, boasts a rich history, and features an iconic product lineup. But recovery won't come from exclusivity alone. It'll come from humility, from listening, from evolving. And it starts by abolishing peihuo, not rebranding it, not justifying it, but admitting it was wrong. Because in today's world, consumers are not afraid to walk away. In conclusion, the Hermès saga in China is more than a luxury scandal. It's a story of shifting power dynamics. It reflects the significant evolution of the consumer landscape. And it's a lesson for every global brand that what worked yesterday won't work today. And certainly not tomorrow. So as Hermès looks to the future, it must choose: double down on exclusivity or embrace transparency. Push the old playbook or write a new one. Because the world is watching. And so are millions of former fans in China, now waiting to see what Hermès does next. If you found this deep dive into Hermès' unraveling in China eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more bold, truth-driven content. We break down what brands won't tell you and shine a light on the real stories behind the luxury labels. Do you have thoughts on Hermès, counterfeit bags, or questionable sales tactics? Drop them in the comments. We read every one. Stay tuned for more raw exposés, behind-the-scenes factory clips, and global consumer truth bombs. This channel isn't about hype, it's about facts. Subscribe now and never get fooled by luxury again.